Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been quite a while since I've sat down and kind of filmed a video in this style. I think I'm finally getting into my contemporary fiction era of reading. I always say this, but I feel like I don't really talk about reading on my channel as much as I love it, but here I am with a whole video dedicated to it. I got back into reading kind of around 2020, 2021. I was one of those who read a lot when I was in middle school and then stopped when I was in high school and then got back into reading when I was in college. Now I'm post-grad. I knew I was always more into the dystopian genre when I was younger, and then now I feel like the equivalent of that is the fantasy romance. So for the past 3-4 years, I've definitely been reading mostly fantasy romance, but I also knew that contemporary romance was having a huge moment. All the Emily Henry books, the Taylor Jenkins Reid, just so many authors, and for some reason this summer I have not been able to get into new fantasy romances. I think I just want something light and summery instead of something dark and a lot, because the fantasy genre is known for just giant books. So yeah, with that, we're here today to read Emily Henry books. I thought I would start with her and then maybe hopefully branch out to other authors. We'll see how this goes, because I don't even know if this will satisfy what I really want to read right now. Also, I just have 2 of her books right now, but I am open to getting more of her books if I do end up liking these. We're starting off with 2 very summery books, Beach Read and People We Met on Vacation. I've heard good things about both. I think I've heard more about this one. Actually, I don't know. But yes, I will be framing this as a reading vlog type thing, so I will update you as I pick a book, start reading. But yeah, I'm excited for you guys to join me on this because I feel ready to get into this genre and her books as an author and just each of these individually, so exciting things. Okay, I literally just stopped that clip, but I do think I'm gonna start with this one actually. After reading the backs of both of the books, I feel like this one is more intriguing to me just because she's in New York City. I read that and I was like, okay, I'm in New York City. I feel like maybe that'll be a vibe. I don't know if there's a reading order to her books, but I'm just gonna start with this because I feel most interested by it. How's your book?
Chapter 4.
Oh!
It's fine. It's good.
Okay. I'm on page 2.
I hope it's good.
It's great so far. I am 36 pages in to People We Met on Vacation. I think I like it so far. I feel like it's hard to tell this early, but I'm liking the background of the main character, I guess. She feels like a real person, honestly, and different than a lot of the characters that I've read about. He's not giving anything right now. I also like the fact that it skips around between the different times. I could see that being maybe a little frustrating. I don't know if it does that for the whole book. Later on, if something like crazy happens and then they like time skip. That I would find that annoying. But I feel like right now it's kind of like a mystery of like what happened between them. I'm intrigued, I guess, to say the least. Also, another author I might want to read their books of in the future is Abby Jimenez, I think is how you say her name. I've heard her books are good too. So just a little update. I'm intrigued is all I can say. Just going through every emotion possible.
Is she like happy with it? Or is she
I'm like just about getting to the halfway point and I really like it so far. It was a little slow to get into, just to kind of get used to the characters and like the time jumps and start to like piece things together. The big mystery involved in this is like what happened 2 summers ago. And I feel like as you keep reading, you start to develop like more of like a, okay, now I'm interested in like what happened. I do really like the time jump aspect of it. I like seeing them from like different parts of their life. And now the time jumps are getting like, I guess, smaller because we're getting closer to like that one summer. Whether it's like contemporary books in general or like contemporary romance, I guess, I really like seeing like how the character thinks and like their personality, I guess, because obviously like fantasy books are very focused on the action and like it's hard to like really just focus on the character themselves because so much is happening around them that you have to like pay attention to other things. This is like more on like the mundane side of action, I guess, or plot. You really focus more on like the characters and like what they do and how they say things and how they interact, and it makes these like a much more lighter read than the fantasy genre, obviously, because you're not like racing around like in your imaginative era. You're more so like observing, I feel like, or like piecing things together. Anyways, today I'm going on a little picnic, so I'm gonna bring this book and see if I can get more reading done. This one? Target.
Come on, stop, turn the key and cool her on. There's a pause for relief.
That I give raspberry, which I have been told.
You do give raspberry.
Really?
What were you saying? Lavender?
blackberry?
Oh, blackberry?
I can see you as blackberry.
I see you.
Yeah, blueberry actually.
I see you as pomegranate.
I can see that too.
I think we agree on
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
We're talking about you.
I'm eternally a mango.
Okay, to leave a little bit undone and be the cat in the sun. aside every empty spreadsheet.
I'm really just taking a tour of my room with these filming locations, but just finished. I think like a couple days ago, and I wanted to sit on my thoughts for like a couple days before I talked about it again. I feel like it took me a little bit to get into, like definitely first 100 pages. I was like trying to make myself read more than like actually wanting to like pick the book up, but then it like picked up for me, I feel like, and then I kind of finished the rest of the book within like 2 days, and that's like pretty quick for me because I feel like I'm really busy right now. Overall thoughts, I think I liked it, but I gave it like a 3 stars on my Goodreads. But that also doesn't mean that I didn't appreciate it, because I really liked seeing the characters and like seeing how they kind of operate with all of their history and the flaws that they have. And I also like her writing style. It reminds me a little bit of Sally Rooney, but like a little bit younger. One thing I do have to say, I don't know if this bothered anyone else on this entire world who read this book, but this girl's shower routine was getting me so angry. I don't know, I felt like her hygiene kind of became a notable point towards the end, or maybe that's just something I fixated on. Like Alex in this book is like super clean, super hygienic, and like showers twice a day, and her thing was that she showers only 3 times a week. I've been hearing this whole like how many times should you shower in a week thing. I've always assumed everyone showers once a day at least, unless you're like sick or like going through it, or like you stayed home all day. I don't know. 3 times a week is crazy, especially when she was in that hot room, that 90-degree room, sweating all day. I feel like maybe if I'm like aligning more on Alex's side, why would he be okay with that? Because I would not be okay with that. I don't know, that became like a big thing in my head. Towards the end was when I really started like fixating on it, and I was just like, ew, like, ew. I don't know, maybe no one else was bothered by that and I'm the only one that was bothered by that, but it really like, ugh. But anyways, that's enough of that. I am currently now reading Beach Read. I say currently, I'm only 14 pages in. I'm gonna read this, and then I do think I want to read Happy Place by her as well. I think the vibes of this I might like a little bit more just by the premise of the back. One thing that did confuse me at first was, and this is like so random and like doesn't matter at all I feel like, but on the back it says neighboring beach houses, but she goes to a lake, one of the Great Lakes, and I think they have like beaches there, but like when I think of like lake house, because I'm from the south in Georgia, when I think of like a house by the lake, that's a lake house, and that's very different from a beach house in my mind. And a beach house like has a whole different vibe to me. I think they're in lake houses, but they're beach houses? I don't know, I'm kind of like a little bit confused on the setting right now. I don't know, maybe I'm like thinking too much about that, but we'll see. I kind of like the premise of it too, 2 writers, and it's like summertime, so I feel like this will be very summery as well, but I will keep you updated with my thoughts.
Every 4 months I'll question my sanity, bottle it up with booze and profanity. And every 3 weeks I'll think back on that day. My mind will project out the bad memories. The worst of the rush is a flood of the good, 'cause I fear that the bad may be overlooked. And every 2 days I'll see them in you, erase, crumple, throw them out of my...
I don't have much time to talk right now, but I have to just say, oh my goodness, this book, I am almost done. I can probably finish this like either today or tomorrow. This book is so good. This one is a lot better than People We Met on Vacation for me personally. It's extremely perfect for my own life because I was just around Lake Michigan. Now it's 4th and I just feel the summer vibes are like oozing out of this book, and it's just making me excited about my life, and like it's so good. The characters and their relationship is so good. I'm kind of like a little scared like what's gonna happen in this much of the book, but I am really enjoying this so far, and I really hope they have a good ending because I feel like People We Met on Vacation, the ending was like kind of like I mean, the overall book was like kind of alright for me, but I love this one. Also, as you can probably see, I did get Happy Place, so I will be starting this after, which I also have higher expectations for this one too. Again, the premise feels like it fits better, which is funny because I started People We Met on Vacation because I thought that was the most interesting premise, but this ended up being my favorite out of the two, like by far. Colleen Hoover wrote a blurb on the back. I'm not a big fan of Colleen Hoover, but I just saw she wrote a blurb on the back. You know what? It's fine. I am also looking forward to reading this. This is definitely one of the shorter books that I have of hers, so I feel like this will probably go by quicker, but I know like a lot of people really like this book, I think. I feel like I've seen it in like Goodreads top books of something, and then I think it's also being adapted into a show. I don't know. But I feel like I've just heard a lot more about this recently after getting into like Emily Henry books. This is a book I've heard the most about, but I am really enjoying this book so far, and I'm so excited to finish it, and I will definitely keep you updated. This is hitting the spot that I was looking for exactly. It like perfectly. I do know that she has that funny, is it called Funny Story? I think it's like a relatively new book. I was intrigued by that one, but my issue is that that is only in hardcover right now, and that bothers me because I want to read all of these books paperback, especially now that I have all of them paperback. So I might like probably just wait till it comes out in paperback and then read it then, because I literally cannot be bothered to read the hardcover version. Also, I wish publishers like released hardcover and paperback at the same time. I know it's probably like a marketing tool or whatever, but I can't imagine like reading these kinds of books hardcover for some reason. Like I can read fantasy books hardcover, but these books need to be paperback for me. Otherwise, I'm not reading it. Like I'm just gonna wait. That's just a little update. You'll probably see me next when I finish this book.
Looks like nothing.
Oh my god, it's a whale! They're so
This looks like a
How? Like how much?
I don't know, it's 1.5.
Hi, Basti. I always heard that person. More whale photo.
Any outdoor check over here, Ben? So it's larger electronic.
Oh my gosh, this is so weird sitting here. New scenery. I'm back in my childhood home for just like a couple days, but I have an update because I'm already halfway through Happy Place. It's funny because I feel like People We Met on Vacation, I had like so many more updates to make, but I have less for Beach Read and Happy Place just because I'm absolutely reading them so fast. I really like this one too. Was a little bit hesitant, I guess, to start this, but I feel like everything is happening exactly how I want it to, and I feel like I'm getting like the jaw drop moments as well that I had like in Beach Read. I'm very interested in like what exactly went wrong. And then also another part that I really like about this book, which I feel like also a lot of other people really like, is the whole found family trope. The friend group is so fun and cool, and I like reading about their friendship and just all of, like the little moments that they have. I feel like there's a lot of very like high-strung emotions. I don't know if that's the correct term, but it feels like some people need to have certain conversations with certain other characters in the group. I feel like some big like blowout might happen with them. I don't know. It could go either way. I feel like I'm just not finished with it yet for the simple reason that I just don't have the time to be reading right now. I am like literally already halfway through, which is crazy to me because when did I have the time to be reading this week? I don't know. I somehow found it. As for summer vibes, they're great. I have been seeing so many like TikToks about like cottages in Maine, like a summer in Maine, and I feel like that was very enticing to me, so happy to be reading a book about that. Also, another thing I'm like kind of enjoying is like when she's like kind of stumbling into like her happy places, or like forget exactly what she says, but she's like, oh, not that thought, and then we jump into the next chapter with that thought. So I don't know, I thought that was just like a little fun aspect to it, but enjoying this so far. Finished all of these books. I feel like I've barely talked about Happy Place, but I literally went through it so fast. Like there was no way that I could do more than like one update in the middle. I think it was like over 2 nights, I think, that I like finished the entire thing. I feel like the majority of this video is about this book actually, because I was giving so many updates for some reason. Like these two, I literally didn't have the time to update in the middle because I was just like so excited to finish them. I kind of like the whole like reading books by one author. It feels like all the same style, and it kind of feels like part of a series, I guess. Also in this book, there was like a mention of the characters in this book, which I thought was sweet, and like just a little like Easter egg type thing. But yeah, overall very much enjoyed these books. I will be reading Funny Story the minute it comes out in paperback. I just can't make myself read the hardcover right now. I think in general also I just feel like I will be keeping up with Emily Henry's work because I just really enjoyed reading these. Even when I was like iffy about the book, like I still really enjoy the way she's written them and the way she's like laid out the plot. If I could rank them, this one is definitely the lowest. I gave it a 3 stars. This is hard between these. Another thing I have to add about this book, out of all of like the main characters of these 3 books, this girl, like me and her, I felt like we were very, very similar. I just felt like a lot of her like introspection spoke to me as well. Like there'd be some things that she'd like think about or like figure out in her mind, and I'm like, you know what, like that makes a lot of sense, and like I was kind of learning from her as well. I kind of like disliked this character in this, like the main girl. She was a little bit annoying, and also you heard my whole spiel about her shower routine. This girl was cool too, but definitely related the most to her. So I feel like for that reason, this is my trio. I rated both of these a 4-star, but I think I'd put Happy Place above. But then again, I really enjoyed the plot of Beach Read, and like I'd maybe rate that higher than Happy Place. But it's kind of confusing, so I'm gonna leave it at this. If this was a challenge, I guess that would be a success. Would love to do this with another author if you guys would want to see that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I just wanted to like kind of take a moment in my videos to say I'm very grateful for everyone who is watching now. I've gotten so much positive feedback from all of you, and I know a lot of you came through my Europe videos, and you know, I'll be traveling again in the future, but I don't know, it's been very exciting to kind of see new people around and like commenting on things. It's been very, very sweet, and I've been making videos for like 3 years on this channel. It's nice to see that we're finally like building a little community on here. So I just wanted to say I'm very excited for all of you to be here. As you have seen a little bit earlier in this video, I have been to Chicago and I've been back home to Georgia. So those videos are coming up next. But anyways, I will see you very soon. That is so pretty. I've never seen a man like that.
Sweet, bitter friend, I thank you for you.